Peugeots have always been popular cars for young drivers for three reasons. Firstly, they're very good looking. Secondly, they're normally quite good to drive. And thirdly, and most importantly, they offer excellent value, which is important when you're spending the best part of £3,000 a year on insurance. Unfortunately, Peugeot's last small car, the 207, was a bit meh. Thankfully though, it's gone, and in its place is the 208. However, the extra 1 on the name badge aside, is it better than the car it replaces? The French really do have a knack with small cars. The Renault Clio looks great, the Citroën DS3 is a fantastic looking thing, and the Peugeot 208 is no exception. Stick the 208 alongside a Fiesta, a Corsa or a VW Polo and it just seems to have a je ne sais quoi that other small cars don't have. Inside, it's similarly stylish. We absolutely love the panoramic glass sunroof fitted to this model, which glows blue around the edges. It makes you feel like you're driving a spaceship, albeit a reasonably priced spaceship with a small petrol engine. However, sit yourself down in the driver's seat and you'll spot a fairly big problem. In most cars, the steering wheel is big and you look through it to see the dials. However, for reasons unknown to anyone but themselves, Peugeot has fitted a small wheel which you look over to look at the dials. Now, this is great in theory, but it means that if you have the steering wheel high, like I do, you can't see the dials, so you don't know how fast you're going. And I've checked, but saying, "Sorry officer, I didn't realise I was doing 108 miles an hour in a built-up area, the steering wheel was in the way," won't wash. There's a huge choice of engines on offer, ranging from 1 litre and 1.2 litre 3-cylinder petrols via 1.4 and 1.6 litre diesels to a 1.6 litre petrol. The 1 litre takes 14 seconds to get from 0 to 60 and feels pretty slow as a result, but the 1.2 we have here takes 12.2 seconds. And while this isn't quick, it's enough to make the 208 fun to drive. Around town it feels very nippy, and even out here on the open road it's a very quiet and comfortable car to drive, with a smooth ride and very little wind or road noise. One criticism we would have is with the electric power steering Peugeot has fitted. It's very light, which is great when you're parking, but out on the open road you don't really have the confidence to stick it into the bend. If it's driving enjoyment you're looking for though, you'll want the 200 brake horsepower 208 GTI, which does 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. Insurance will only be about 10 grand, so if your dad happens to own a petrochemical company, that's the one to get. When it comes to choosing a trim, you're spoiled for choice. But the good news is that if you avoid the basic access model, they're all well equipped. And to be honest, with a plug for your iPod, cruise control and lecky front windows, even the Access comes with everything you need. Our pick, however, would be the Active, which comes with alloys, Bluetooth, DAB radio and a touchscreen. Be warned, however, that it isn't the best touchscreen in the world. Changing radio stations on the move is so complicated and involving that if you try it, you will crash. And the sat-nav doesn't let you put a postcode in, meaning you have to type out the entire address, which is a bit crap. We've got no complaints here. Although the 208 is smaller on the outside than the old 207, it's actually bigger inside. Up front there's loads of space and bags of adjustability in the seat and steering wheel, and there's loads of head and legroom in the back too. Getting into the back too shouldn't be an issue if you get the 5-door, and the boot is very big for a car of this size. Although it's not exactly bargain basement, the 208 is cheaper than many of its rivals. And the savings don't stop there either, because both the 1 litre and the 1.2 will top 60 miles to the gallon, and both are entitled to free road tax. If it's super low running costs you're after though, you'll want a diesel. Every diesel in the 208 range will cost you nothing to tax, good news if you hate the government, and the most economical of all the diesels, the 1.4, will top 80 miles to the gallon. Overall, there's quite a lot to like about the Peugeot 208. It looks fantastic, it comes with some great engines, and it's a very practical car too. However, the ride and handling aren't great, and Peugeot could have fitted a slightly more intuitive infotainment system. It wouldn't be our choice, but if you want a car which is good looking and cheap to run, then the 208 could be a good choice.